I mean, as most of you probably already know, Drew left. And like, yeah, I was like manifesting this and like hoping that we would have like a break and a separation. And I wasn't sure how to like go about it because every time like I brought the idea of us like taking a break, just got bad. And it was never like, it's not even an option for us to just take some time to heal and like get an understanding of each other. Drew is just like all or nothing all the time. There's no separate while he figures some stuff out.
So I guess Stphanie finally reached out to Drew's side piece, and she was able to give Stphanie any other information that she had that she didn't post online. Stphanie, at this point, if somebody comes to you with a real offer to help you with housing, okay, not pay your way, but to help you with housing, take it. Take it for your kid. Move into whatever place you're able to get into for you and your kids, not Drew.
But you are tolerating it, Stphanie, because what you allow is what's going to continue. My dad always told me that when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. But you won't do that with Drew because he has shown you time and time again who he really is, and you turn a blind eye to it because you're so desperate for love that you'll tolerate anything. Since the moment we met you on this app, you've been defending him. He has never once returned the favor. Say that a quick split would be traumatizing for the kids, but I'm pretty sure that hearing you guys argue 24/7 and the instability and promise breaking and everything else is also traumatizing.
The most disgraceful turn in this ongoing disaster wasn't just Drew Jenkins' alleged infidelity. It was the image of Stphanie Jenkins, the mother of five, already drowning in motel room chaos, deliberately seeking out and confronting the very woman who had humiliated her by exposing Drew's betrayal, asking her for proof, receiving the receipts, and then, instead of leaving him once and for all, returning to TikTok with cryptic reposts and indirect jabs, showing the world a woman who cannot break away, yet cannot stop staring the flames of her own misery. This is the case of Stphanie Jenkins, trapped in love, fueled by confrontation. Stphanie, better known on TikTok as Resilient Jenkins, was once seen as a mother surviving impossible odds, a kind of woman who could take abandonment, poverty, and instability and still find a way to provide for her children. In her early videos, the audience saw someone strong and enduring, and the name Resilient seemed to capture her spirit perfectly. Yet what began as survival slowly shifted into spectacle, where every personal setback became a storyline for public consumption. The charges against her are layered and specific. Instead of cutting ties or making decisive changes, she has actively engaged with Drew's side piece, feeding into the same drama that wrecks her household.
Every time like I brought the idea of us like taking a break, just got bad, and it was never like, it's not even an option for us to take some time to heal and like get an understanding of each other. Drew is just like all or nothing all the time.
Her reaching out for receipts and evidence doesn't lead to closure, but fuels another round of speculation and content. She has adopted a habit of posting vague yet cutting videos and carefully chosen to steam but never clear enough to resolve, leaving her followers guessing and debating her intentions. These posts keep the conversation alive, not by clarity, but by confusion, repeatedly exposing Drew's betrayals, not with the intent to end the relationship, but to stage each revelation as another episode, cutting a soap opera of dysfunction that ensures viewers keep turning to watch the next twist. This case isn't about strategy anymore, as it once was. It's about a woman who appears unsettled, restless, and spiraling, clinging to the very man she publicly condemns, performing her heartbreak and outrage in front of strangers, broadcasting betrayal again and again, while refusing to take the one step that could truly change her situation, walking away. Exhibit A. She messaged Drew's side piece directly, the same woman who had shattered the illusion of loyalty by exposing his texts. The decision itself was shocking, because it meant Stphanie was no longer waiting passively for the truth to surface. She was actively chasing it from the very person who had already humiliated her. She didn't just stumble across the information. She went searching for it, digging for answers in a place where pain was guaranteed. And when the side piece revealed their exchange, the internet was stunned and divided. Screenshots of her statements spread across comment sections, sparking debates about whether Stephanie's move was brave or desperate. Hey everybody! Steph finally reached out to me and I was able to give her as much proof as possible. I will not be sharing details of this conversation. Please just know there is so much going on when the cameras are off.
So I guess Stphanie finally reached out to Drew's side piece, and she was able to give Stphanie any other information that she had that she didn't post online. Stphanie, at this point, if somebody comes to you with a real offer to help you with housing, okay, not pay your way, but to help you with housing, take it. Take it for your kid. Move into whatever place you're able to get into for you and your kids, not Drew.
Audiences read these words with a mixture of disbelief and pity. Why would Stphanie, who once claimed she doubted those texts were even Jews, now go running to the same woman for more evidence? For some, it showed determination, a mother trying to uncover the full truth. For others, it looked less like the actions of a woman preparing to leave and more like the actions of someone clinging to the drama, unable to stop scratching at the wound that would never heal. Entire threads popped up asking whether she wanted truth or just content for the next live. This wasn't a woman moving on. This was a woman digging deeper, demanding evidence from the very source of her humiliation, almost fueling her own spiral. Every message she exchanged gave the side piece more power in the narrative, flipping her from the enemy to gatekeeper of the truth. It mattered because it showed obsession, not closure, fixation rather than freedom. By seeking proof from the side piece, Stphanie made herself both victim and participant in her own torment, while also dragging the audience into yet another cycle of receipts, reposts, and unresolved questions that guaranteed the saga would continue to dominate her feed and their attention.
Honestly, I think it's just that. I think it's just a rumor. Because here's my thoughts on it. I've seen everybody post the exact same screenshots. If this girl exists, why is there not more proof? And the only other proof I've seen was some girl claiming to have the messages from Stphanie to the supposed pregnant girl, Sierra. But it's completely blocked out. Like they blanked out the conversation.
Exhibit B. Instead of a clear statement, Stphanie turned to Facebook, reposting videos and quotes like this one. A narcissist will neglect their partner and children, but gladly help a stranger because it's always about their image. To her audience, it was obvious who she was aiming at. The timing of the post came immediately after yet another live in which she cried about Drew's absence, so viewers connected the dots quickly. This was a coded message directed straight at him.
It was like it's not even an option for us to just take some time to heal and like get an understanding of each other. With Drew, it's just like all or nothing all the time. There's no separate while we figure some stuff out. I asked for like counseling together, or like even just take the time to do like that paired app. I'm fucking like ugly crying on the internet, but I also don't give a fuck right now because it's really freaking hurt.
But the irony couldn't be ignored. While she accused Drew of neglect, she herself was neglecting her children emotionally by keeping them trapped in this cycle of chaos. And this wasn't the only cryptic message. She followed up with shares of TikTok clips about betrayal, memes about disloyal men, and even reels with background audio saying lines like, "You can't build a home with someone who breaks you down." Each post was vague enough to maintain deniability, but clear enough that her audience knew who the target was. The pattern became obvious. Drew would cheat, Stphanie would confront or collapse, then she would turn to social media to throw indirects instead of making direct choices. These posts mattered because they revealed Stephanie's unsettled state of mind. She couldn't leave Drew, but she couldn't stay silent either. Every repost was a coded message to him and to the audience, keeping the fire even as her home burned.
I would love nothing more than to see you pop up on here one day, a completely brand new person. But you are also losing time to be able to do that. You have been at a very critical time right now, especially with the opportunities you were given, and you've blown it right now. You cannot be the mother you need to be if you are literally falling apart. Taking care of yourself also means taking care of your kids. If you cannot take care of you, then you cannot take care of your kids. You say you want to be the best mother you can possibly be and, fix your faults when it comes to parenting and give your kids everything that you want to give them. You will not be able to do that when you're still with Drew. Drew obviously has his own things he needs to figure out on his own without you, and that's okay. You have things you need to figure out on your own without him, and that's okay.
The cycle of cryptic content kept her followers hooked, speculating about whether she was finally ready to walk away or whether she was simply feeding the algorithm another round of heartbreak. In reality, it showed her paralysis. She was frozen between humiliation and dependency, unable to cut ties, so she expressed her rage in memes, quotes, and carefully chosen clips that painted her as both victim and a fighter at once. Exhibit C. The confrontation and cryptic messages didn't lead to resolution. They led to more chaos, confusion, and constant speculation. One day, she cried over Drew leaving, breaking down live in front of an audience who begged her to take a step back, with comments flooding the chat urging her to focus on her children and leave the toxic cycle. The very next day, she defended him. insisting that the children needed stability and that her love for him had to be taken into account, presenting herself as the protector who endured pain so they wouldn't have to. Hours later, she would swing again, posting indirect attacks, resharing quotes about betrayal and narcissism, or memes that left no doubt who she was referencing, each post dissected by viewers for hidden meaning. Then she doubled back yet again, claiming she stayed only for the children, painting herself as the martyr who was enduring the pain so her kids wouldn't have to suffer through separation, even though her actions showed the opposite. It was, as the audience put it, a cycle. Trouble in Paradise on some viewers described it as a never-ending soap opera, playing out live, complete with cliffhangers and recaps, while others compared it to a carousel of dysfunction where the music never stopped.
But you are tolerating it, Stphanie, because what you allow is what's going to continue. My dad always told me that when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. But you won't do that with Drew because he has shown you time and time again who he really is, and you turn a blind eye to it because you're so desperate for love that you'll tolerate anything. Since the moment we met you on this app, you've been defending him. He has never once returned the favor. Say that a quick split would be traumatizing for the kids, but I'm pretty sure that hearing you guys argue 24/7 and the instability and promise breaking and everything else is also traumatizing. Does not care, and no amount of therapy, no amount of talking is going to make him. You have got to stop romanticizing the fact that if if we're stable, if we have a house, he'll be different, he'll be a better dad, we won't be stressed, no, he is who he is, whether you live in a mansion or a motel. He's never going to be the man that you so desperately want him to be. Stop chasing after some fairy tale and start focusing on the actual children that are in your care that need you to be better. I said it before, I do want you to succeed. I do want you to be better because I know that 4 out of 5 of those kids don't stand a chance at a better life without that happening. Stop chasing after a man who doesn't care about you. Stop chasing after a man in general and start focusing on your kids that do need you. We're always racking your brain trying to figure out why none of us think you're a good person because we don't. Show us you can be. Do right by those kids. Put them first for once.
Each new round of tears, reconciliations, and cryptic posts drew an eager audience not out of support, but out of fascination with the dysfunction. And each time the storyline spun around again, the children bore witness, their cries and presence caught in the background of lives, their faces visible as they wandered in and out of chaotic scenes, their daily lives turned into a scene of content for strangers to binge. The mother's heartbreak was converted into engagement metrics. Every fight and reconciliation transformed into comments, shares, stitches, and speculations that fueled her visibility online. This mattered because it showed the deeper truth. Stphanie is not trapped in Drew himself. She is trapped in the cycle, in the need to continually restart the loop of confrontation and reconciliation, in the adrenaline rush of exposing him and then pulling him back into her life. It is a cycle she feeds every time she confronts a mistress, drops another cryptic message, or reshapes her narrative for the audience. The repetition became the performance, and the performance became her prison, a prison where invisible bars, built by both her own choices and an audience addicted to watching dysfunction unfold. The consequences are heavy and already unfolding. Her credibility has collapsed. What was once viewed as resilience is now seen as recycling the same storyline. Viewers openly comment that they can predict her next, joking in comment sections that her lies could be scripted episodes because the pattern never changes. Clips circulate where fans call out the repetitive cycle, crying, forgiving, and posting indirect, noting how the suspense that once drew people in has now turned into fatigue.
We see that Stephanie's mom has not been on this internet and they do not have a relationship. But y'all, I wonder now, does Stphanie have all the information that she needs to put her 4 children in that car and drive away and never look back? Or is this just another ploy of Stephanie's to get sympathy? I mean, I really truly wonder what it will take to wake her up.
Her authenticity, the very quality that first attracted followers and drew sympathy, has disintegrated under the weight of constant contradictions, leaving her image fractured and unreliable. Her cryptic posts are no longer cries for help. In the earlier days, audiences interpreted them as signals of a struggling mother reaching out for support, with many sending words of encouragement. Now, with each repost of betrayal meme or vague reel, followers respond with sarcasm and skepticism, calling them attention grabs rather than genuine reflections. Comment threads filled with remarks like, "Here we go again," and "another indirect but no action." The meaning of her posts has shifted in the public eye from vulnerability to performance, undermining any chance of sincere connection and making viewers doubt her every move.
Stphanie could be taking her own advice because remember the last crash out when they broke up? She was like, maybe we just needed to not post for 24 hours. So maybe instead of posting and telling the business, she's taking her own advice and just not posting for 24 hours, just staying off the internet for a little bit and handling whatever's going on off camera. In other Resilient Jenkins news, Morgan has come out of retirement. No, but I definitely enjoy watching your content. I say, welcome back. It's almost like you never left. And, that last video was really good. You just seemed really concerned, and I can't say somebody said that you was going to come back, but I don't know who that was, but somebody said you was going to come back. Welcome back. But no, for real, I always watch her content. So I was going to watch it whether she made Resilient Jenkins content again or not. So, but again, welcome back. And then in my own news, my eye is so itchy, it's about to get watery. Because I was outside all yesterday because my boys had their very first game. It was Jamboree yesterday. I may have to make a separate video about that because I think I need to vent my feelings. This is my first time being a sports mom, so it's tough already. It's actually tough already. Like, yeah, maybe I'll have to make a separate video because I'm definitely gonna need some mom advice because I feel like I'm gonna crash out, but I don't want to be like a naggy mom, and when my kids are new to the sport. So, but I still want them to get like quality attention, quality, like a quality practice, and game time, get some action on the field, but know what they're doing, like being taught properly. It's kind of hard when it's their first year, but everybody else has been playing for a long time, or the other kids that are new are still good, like better. So, and your kids just don't know how to play it. And
Drew remains unbothered. While Stphanie spirals online, Drew shows little visible. His silence, whether calculated to maintain control or simply careless indifference, underscores the imbalance between them. She pours her humiliation into the internet while he continues on as if nothing is happening. To viewers, his calm presence becomes another layer of humiliation for Stphanie because the louder she protests, the more indifferent he appears, giving the impression that she is fighting a battle he does not even acknowledge exists. This silence is interpreted as both cruelty and strategy, making her look more desperate each time she lashes out. And her children, still there, still witnesses. Every argument, every live stream, every cryptic post becomes part of their daily reality. They are dragged deeper into dysfunction that has no end, their private struggles turned into public content that strangers dissect in real time. Viewers hear children in the background of broadcasts and express concern, noting how their cries or attempts to speak are drowned out by the chaos. For many, this is the heaviest consequence of all. The children growing up inside a spectacle where the chaos never pauses, shaping their sense of normal in damaging ways and exposing them to trauma that will echo long after the live streams end. Judge's analysis. This isn't just a Jenkins problem. This is TikTok culture at its worst, a digital ecosystem that thrives on disorder and rewards dysfunction with virality. The platform's design means that the more dramatic and chaotic a live stream becomes, the more likely it is to be pushed to viewers' feeds, and the more people tune in to see the train wreck unfold. Mothers like Stphanie become locked into the cycle because every tear, every confrontation, every cryptic message brings a temporary spike in views and engagement. Over time, the content shifts from accidental oversharing to deliberate performance, where chaos is not only lived but staged for the sake of visibility. By confronting side pieces instead of confronting herself, by posting cryptic quotes instead of taking concrete steps, Stphanie reflects a broader sickness, dysfunction packaged as entertainment. In her case, the confrontation with Drew's side piece was not simply about uncovering truth. It was about creating the next episode in the saga that viewers had come to accept. The cryptic reposts were not just expressions of pain, but carefully selected symbols that invited speculation, engagement, and debate. The underlying problem is that the incentive structure rewards her for prolonging dysfunction rather than resolving it, because resolution would mean the storyline ends and the algorithm moves on. The audience isn't just watching, they are complicit, feeding clicks, comments, and endless speculation into a machine that thrives on broken families. Viewers comment with advice they know she will not take. They urge her in threads. They clip and share her breakdowns across platforms. In doing so, they ensure the cycle continues because every interaction tells the algorithm that this is valuable content. The tragedy is that behind every view, like, and share are 5 children whose pain is being consumed as entertainment, cementing this case as not just a family crisis, but a culture indictment of what social media has become. The court finds that Stphanie Jenkins is guilty, not of being cheated on, not of being poor, but of fueling the very fire that consumes her home, confronting mistresses for proof she doesn't act on, posting cryptic videos to keep the storyline alive, and choosing endless exposure over resolution. The sentence? A cycle of her own making. But the final decision rests with you, the jury. Is Stphanie trapped by love or trapped by the performance of betrayal? Is she exposing Drew to hold him accountable or to hold her audience captive? Drop your verdict in the comments below.